Hello, we're going to try to simplify this trigonometric expression. Always have your identities nearby and look at your expression and look at your identities and see if you can make something happen right away by substituting an identity. If not, go over your strategies. And a good idea is if mostly the expression is in terms of sine and cosine. In this case, everything is already in terms of sine and cosine except the tangent. One thing that we can do is rewrite the tangent in terms of sine and cosine. So instead of writing tangent, we can use the quotient identity that says that tangent is equal to sine over cosine. So that means that that expression is equal to x over cosine of x. Everything else must stay exactly the same. The tangent became sine over cosine, and I'm gonna leave everything else as it was. Cosine of x plus cosine squared of x. If you notice, by doing that, we have the chance to cancel this cosine with this cosine, and we can now multiply this sine by the other sine. That will lead to having sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x. And now we're gonna take a moment to look at our identities. We already used a quotient identity. Now a good time to look at the Pythagorean identities. And you're gonna notice that sine squared of theta or x or alpha or whatever variable you decide to use, doesn't matter if it is alpha, x, it's always equal to 1. Sine squared plus cosine squared. So this entire expression, we had that the initial expression is equal to this expression with sine over cosine multiplying what we had at the beginning. Once we cancel out the cosines, we're going to have this as equal to sine squared plus cosine squared. And at the end, that is simply 1. So your final answer, that entire expression is a way of saying 1. The final answer would be 1. So sometimes you might be wondering, how do I know where to start? Well, if nothing else seems like an option, try to change everything to sine and cosines. Another option would be, let's see if we can factor something out. You could try to factor the cosine, but in this case, because everything is mostly sine and cosines, we're gonna stick with writing everything in terms of sine and cosine.